historic bed and breakfast has become a hotspot for poltergeist-like activity. Is it haunted or not? Watch and find out. Welcome to Haunt Me. Haunt Me has been called to the Pinecrest Inn, a historic bed and breakfast in the town of Gorham, Maine. Gorham is actually the place that Ty and I grew up, and where we had some of our earliest paranormal experiences. A number of guests to the inn have had their own set of experiences here. There have been strange sightings of apparitions, the inexplicable sound of music, and claims of intense object manipulation. With a place as rich in history as the town of Gorham and Pinecrest Inn both are, I'm sure we're bound to have an interesting stay at this rustic B&B. Thank you for having us here, Matt.
Oh, you're welcome.
We're very excited to finally come in the place that we saw many times when we were going to Gorham High School.
Yeah, back in our hometown tonight.
Yeah. Growing up in Gorham, I passed this place all the time. I didn't realize it was haunted. Of course, I had always had an interest in spooky stories and historical places in Maine. Gorham has a lot of interesting history, so I'm thrilled to be back in my hometown investigating.
This was the breakfast room. This is where we would hear the guests walk through the door behind you, pull out a chair, and sit down, of course, when we'd come into the room to welcome them coming in for breakfast, and there would be nobody sitting here.
My name is Matt Mattingly, and I'm one of the owners of the Pinecrest. We took over the inn about 10 years ago. I think a lot of people come to the Pinecrest for a couple of reasons. One, as I say, we're in the middle of nowhere, but we're right next to everything. We've been referred to as the inn between the ocean and the lakes.
The thing that I really want to talk about is the reason why we're here is your bartender actually contacted us to come.
Yes.
Because of an incident that keeps happening, probably very expensive paranormal activity with the wine glasses.
I'm Crystal Kenville. The owners of Pinecrest are my friends, and I've worked there, for probably 9 years on and off helping them out when they need it. So there used to be an old bar towards the middle of the inn, and I was sitting on the outside of the bar, and all of a sudden, one wine glass flew out past my friend's head and crashed behind the wall. And all of us sitting there, including her, we were shocked. We have no idea to this day how, why, what happened. And then that was the last experience I had until I was actually explaining that to a couple of locals from Gorham. And sure enough, just as I was talking about it, right past my head, flew a glass right to the bar and smashed right in front of the people I was telling it to.
I think if it was swinging enough, it could work its way off.
But I mean,
But it's not going to end up on the bar.
Right. It's going to end up.
It's not going to end up over here.
unless it was pushed with force.
You have a lot of dinner guests in here, though. Is it specifically, do stories ever come from dinner guests, or do they also only come from people spending the night?
Most of the stories come from the overnight guests. Although we have learned a lot of stories from people at dinner that actually lived in the building at one point in time.
We never went out searching for people that had experiences, but over the years they found us and started to tell us their experience.
I'm not super surprised that happens, because I feel like if you came here for dinner and something happened, it'd be really easy to rationalize out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's such a quick experience.
Yeah.
I think if you're sitting here overnight, you kind of have more of a chance to kind of stew about it and talk about it.
Right. If something happened during dinner, like the glass fell off, I'd be like, I'm enjoying my meal.
Clumsy bartender
Yeah.
or something, right?
The building was originally constructed in 1753 with the local doctor in town owned the property and lived here. He was known more to the locals as a singer than he was an actual doctor. I'm not sure if that infers anything on his skills as a doctor. In 1825, the circus was in the area. A servant girl was told to stay home and was not allowed to go, so she was very upset. The family left, and the servant girl proceeded to set fire to the house. It spread very quickly and burned everything pretty much to the ground. The town fathers came together, and they rebuilt the house in one day. Almost every owner all had something to do with music, which could explain why we hear music in the house.
So what room is this?
This is the Quincy. All the rooms are named after towns here from that former innkeepers lived in. One of the other things that we managed to find over the years is one of the owners, going back a long ways, he was Abner. He made wooden puzzles.
One of the individuals that people have seen, he was described as a tall gentleman in a top hat and tails and a cane. And when he was described to one of the women who lived here in the 20s and 30s, she goes, "Oh, well, that's Abner."
We found these out on eBay, and they are Abner's handmade wooden puzzles. So we ended up being able to find and locate 4 different puzzles. Now, what we thought was interesting was it was just about the time we located these puzzles was when we began to identify the children.
My name is Andrew Coffin. I'm a local artist here in Gowen, Maine. I was downstairs here in the wine bar with Matt and a few guests. I could feel and see a boy running upstairs back and forth in the hallway. And then about 5 minutes later, I went outside just to get some fresh air. You know, drinking red wine makes you a little warm. So I went outside and I looked up in the front of the house and saw a little boy looking out at me on the top floor in the center window.
Well, the only story that comes from here is that on Halloween, there's a floating spirit that comes and drifts down here in a big white veil. And
That you're just pulling our.
There's no way. There's no way.
I'm very excited to investigate tonight, specifically because listening to Matt's interview, he said that these are non-threatening spirits, and I would really like to meet one of those this season as opposed to what we've been meeting recently.
so this is the Newport, and this is where guests described someone standing at the end of their bed when they awoke.
When we're investigating tonight, we're gonna have to be like really astute in our descriptions of anything that we see, because that's hard to get photographic evidence of stuff like that. There might be a lot of stories that are personal experiences that happen to us, so we need to be conscious of the fact that, you know, if you see something, get as much description as you can.
For many years, we never shared any of the stories. We would not address them with guests or with anyone for that matter. And over time, multiple people have told us the same stories.
I feel like, you know, and I told Matt that there's this very playful kind of spirits that are here that are not threatening, that are not out to scare anybody, but rather just exist.
The experiences that people have are unsolicited, and they validate each other routinely, and that's something that I've always thought was quite interesting.
Today we've been brought in to investigate Pinecrest Bed and Breakfast back in Gorham, where me and Ash are from, which is really cool. But what makes this extra cool is the fact that there are claims for object manipulation, which we haven't seen to a scale like this before. Also, there are tons of personal experiences from people who have been at the inn, as well as the owner himself, who has shared his experiences with us. But also one of the coolest things is that there's a spirit named Abner that we're going to be trying to communicate with. There's a lot of relics here from his time at the inn, when he owned it. So there's a lot to set up for this investigation tonight, including personal experiences, object manipulation like we said, and we are feeling pretty comfortable at pre-rating this a 6.
All right, we're gonna get started. I'm getting antsy here.
Yeah, okay, let's do the game plan.
Okay.
So maybe we can all start together in this room, play a little guitar and piano, see if we can catch any EVPs, and then maybe split off into groups of 2 for a little bit, but I really think the key here is gonna be hanging out all together. Here, a lot of the activity seems to center around groups of people having a good time. A lot of the events happen when people are playing music or when they're at the bar or at dinner. So I think our plan is to kind of spend more time together. And I know that Katie and I want to do a Ouija board session together at some point.
The children, it's a game board. I mean, we can like play ABCs with them. Maybe they'll like point out some letters.
Right. Abner.
And for me, it's always about the EVP game.
We're getting Abner?
So Abner, are you here with us right now?
Or is it someone who knows Abner, perhaps? Abner, I know this is your house, so I want to thank you for letting us come in. We just want to visit with any of your friends that are here,
I
your
want to do a
family.
sleep behind the bar.
We'd love to communicate with you. We saw your puzzles. They were really beautifully constructed. If that is Abner that I'm talking to right now.
And if it's not Abner, could you tell us your name? My name is Katie.
I'm Ty.
I'm Ashley.
I'm Carol.
Electricity over there.
Can I just say how interesting that this is because of where the wine bottles
Glass
fly
full.
off?
Yeah.
The glasses, yeah. They never thought they were being watched here. It was just physical things being moved. So that still doesn't debunk the wine glass.
Well, the thing about that is that if that, our K2s will be useless. But if that ice box that's on the other side is putting out that much ambient energy, that maybe could be why, or giving the spirits power enough to suck that up and shoot a glass.
To move.
I just put the K2 down on the seat. I'm hoping to ask somebody to sit down and play the piano.
Piano, I was thinking about playing guitar.
If there's anyone in here, could you move one of the glasses or maybe play the piano along with Ashley's guitar?
Come on in, everybody. This is where the party's at.
Music over there, card games over here.
Untitled bar over here if you want a drink. What's your poison? What do we have here? It's a regular jazz club up in here tonight.
Yeah. I wish I knew a jazz song to play on here. Let's do a little,
That was the K2 meter getting knocked over.
Okay. Interesting.
Did you bump the piano?
Do you not? She might not want that on her piano. And if that's the case, could you knock it to the floor?
Well, hello. That was me, sorry, but
That was
That could be nothing. You know, Carol and I were snapping. Maybe we were shaking.
right.
Try it again. Snap, guys.
yeah.
So it was us snapping.
Good to debunk.
Debunked. Maybe we'll just lay it.
Maybe we won't snap anymore.
No more fun. After the group session, Ty and I went to the back of the first floor. We went first into Abner's room. We immediately got K2 activity on the bed.
Okay.
Oh, hi. So are you on the bed? Does that mean you're on the bed? I'm gonna do this one more time. See if we... Is there someone sleeping in this bed? It was about the length of a 6-foot person that could be laying on the bed. And I just wanted to make sure that there was no energy or like electric energy coming from the floor, so I went underneath the bed. All right, so I'm gonna do something scary. I'm gonna go under the bed.
You're going under the bed?
Well, I have to.
Okay.
With this, so you'll hear me.
The last time you saw Katie was crawling under the bed.
I'm
in
going
Abner's
under
room.
the bed. All these bumps and knocks. Hi. Oh, I wasn't even looking under the... Okay, well, I can't fit under the bed. But my K2 is under the bed, my EMF. And it's not... All right, sorry, that must have been me bumping it.
Katie,
Yeah.
since you're under the bed, my K2 stopped.
What?
Yeah.
Perhaps our presence in that room woke someone else up? I don't know. But that bed hasn't been there since the house was built. So whatever was perhaps taking a rest knew to go to that bed. So that means that it's intelligent haunt and not residual.
I just got a blip. Look. Oh.
Oh, yep.
It's constant. It's right in the middle here.
It's also over here, though. There's something in the floor.
The room was like loaded with...
Yeah. Well, that could account for any weird feelings people have. Look at the bed is even giving.
The K2 meters were constant everywhere, on the beds, on the floor, the walls.
It doesn't really explain like the vision of a man, but it does
Exactly.
explain weird feelings.
That could, obviously it's electrical, but.
But maybe it made it easier for the man to manifest by using all that energy.
I am not okay leaving stuff to chance. I'm not okay to just throw it out there and say something's paranormal. When in doubt, throw it out is my motto. So I, like we did at Hillside Hall, had to go outside and see if there was any play with the power lines.
Outside, we get bubbles of orange floating in the air.
By the window?
No.
Oh.
like in between the window. What's going on?
Hey, what's your name? Who's with us right now?
Ooh, orange, orange.
The energy wasn't specifically coming from the wall or the ceiling or the floor. It was just hovering in the middle. And it was very specific height. It was the same height as I am, and it was right next to me. And for a very long time, it was pressed right up against me.
I can't say that it's not electrical because it's
Gone. Gone.
Mine is gone too. Oh,
Back.
Back.
That is what we asked you to do. So if that's you, like leaving, like taking a step back and then coming, yeah, that's what I was gonna say to do. Take a step back.
Now can you come back to us? Can you step forward and make these things go off?
Great.
Okay, thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Any noise that you make to let us know that we need to go downstairs has to be loud because there's some noises going on around us. A noise that we would understand as you would be a loud bang or a thump.
Or a scream. You can scream if you want. That was a thump. You want to thump one more time? Sorry, we just have a hard time hearing.
That was a good knock.
It was a good knock.
The craziest thing for me that's happened so far was the K2 on the bed.
We scanned the bed and it was just there.
And then I went underneath the bed. It like moved. It was like out of there.
Yeah, there's so much electronic interference in this place that we're having a little trouble with.
I shut mine off.
Really?
I mean, it was everywhere.
Everywhere.
Like the walls, the floor, everything.
Bed, everything.
I wonder if that's helping them move stuff and like manifest, and that's
we
maybe.
were wondering that.
Yeah, we were thinking that maybe they could use it, but
I think that would probably throw out all claims to people feeling like they're being watched.
Yes,
Yeah,
I think it would
there's so
too.
much. I've been trying to throw stuff out that I think might be electrical.
Right.
But in Carol's room, right at the end, I kind of got to the thinking that maybe it's just Katie that they want to talk to, because I'm asking questions, I'm getting nothing. And then Katie starts talking and it just goes up and hangs out and stops.
And I was keeping it on my heart and it wouldn't stop beeping. But when we went back into the room the second time, all of the stuff that was lighting up before wasn't.
Yeah, that might be worth going back upstairs to see if maybe it changes or moves or whatever.
It's funny, and this has no scientific bearing whatsoever, but I get a gut feeling when I know I'm gonna get something.
Yeah.
And like some places you go
Wait a
to-
minute.
What was that?
What?
What did it look like?
Something
no
sat
looks.
down. Like on the bed. Yep. Like a cushion go.
Guys, please just listen to me for a second. When we first got here, I had the biggest feeling that we should start in that room. And so I'm really anxious to be in that room, and once we go in there, please stay calm.
Can we go around?
Yeah, let's go.
Please stay calm so this continues.
They like me. There were definite sounds going on. A lot of them could be kind of brushed off. They kind of sounded like machines, like equipment going on or off. A lot of like bumps and knocks that could have been explained as the house settling.
A lot of things happened coincidentally right after we asked for them. Some of them were definitely the house itself. Some of them I'm not sure.
Who was the spirit or the person who flung the wine glass off the bar there? Do you think maybe you would want to talk to us? Or give us a sign that you're here and that was you that did that?
Is that somebody?
No, that was over by the wine glasses.
Interesting.
All right.
Yeah, you absolutely don't have to move this. If you would like rather communicate from back there, why don't you make a louder noise? And let us know. Does that count?
I don't even know. Is that like some kind of appliance?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it counts, does it? Just good timing.
It's convenient.
Okay, so it's just me in here right now and one other person. I wanted you to feel comfortable if you want to let me know that you're here.
I did solitary in one of the bedrooms. My camera guy and I saw a big, bright flash of light.
This little tool I have right here, with the red light, it's called a recorder. It records what you're saying. I'm assuming. What was that? That wasn't their camera? How would that be their camera? Never mind.
It was bright. It's like somebody took a picture in the room and we can't find out where that came from at all. We tested all the cars going by. Luckily, right after, a car with bright blue neon lights went by and that did nothing in the room.
Carol said she was coming.
Carol?
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey, we just had something pretty cool happen.
You did?
Great.
So, before you say it was the cameras, we already took care of that debunking. Blinding flash of light in the room.
Huh.
Blinding. You rewound the cameras, it's not on there.
Wow.
It would have had to have been somebody out in the parking lot turning their headlights on at the window, and none of us did that.
Abner Lowell, are you here?
No Abner Lowell. That's
What was
weird.
that?
What was that whisper?
That's
Yeah, what
closer
was
to
that?
what it's supposed to be.
What did it sound
what was
like?
that whisper?
Can you say that again, please? Good night?
What was that? What?
It was a child whispered good night, is what I heard.
Okay, we're getting there. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. That's right. That's helping us out.
Yeah, we are gonna go good night, say good night soon, but we're gonna be here for a little bit longer.
Can you say how old you are?
Oh my God.
Was that a little child?
That was a child.
By the way. But it could have been the radio.
It definitely could have been the radio. It was just the timing.
Because it's usually more whispery.
The spirit box is still hard for me. I like that we have the option to use it. I think that it's really hit or miss, and you have to put a lot of stock into it to try to figure out what might be said.
Okay, like Corey said, step away from the radio. Don't get stuck. Back up. We're closing this down. You can't come with us. Good night.
The spirits here are nice, they're friendly. There's a lot of different appliances giving off a lot of energy that's kind of helping them move objects and manifest.
You can't go into a place with the same formula and expect just amazing results to come out. You have to adapt and you have to change to try to figure out what works best for a specific location.
I definitely believe something was here because a lot of weird things did happen. It's kind of hard to think back on what happened tonight just because there were so many random things that we were trying to debunk.
After a night of intelligent K2 activity, personal experiences, hearing bumps and knocks, and the white light that Carol saw, we've decided to give the Pinecrest Inn a rating of 4. Averaging that with the original rating of 6 gives it an overall score of 5, an obstreperous level haunt. However, here at Pinecrest, it seems when you're not looking for it, the evidence finds you.